Hi folks, so what we're going to do in this video is we are going to do a development question. And the question here you can see is based on this little object here. And it says here, just in the question, it says a pictorial view of a display box. There's a couple other questions here, but this one is the display box, is shown below. In each case, draw a front elevation of the box looking in the direction of arrow A. So arrow A is pointing to the right. So this is actually relating, even though we're doing developments, this is relating to orthographic projection. So draw a front elevation looking in the direction of arrow A, draw an end elevation looking in the direction of arrow B, and then draw the development or the surface development of the box. Okay, so first of all, when we're doing this, we have to just kind of think of orthographic projection. Arrow A is pointing in the right-hand direction. So generally what rules would apply there is it's going to go on the right-hand side of the XY line. Okay, arrow B then is the end elevation. I'm going to see all of this face for arrow B. Okay, so if I put in a little bit of a color there, shade that in. That's what I'm going to see for arrow B there. Okay, for arrow A, if I was to use a color, I'd imagine it would be this face here is what we're going to see. And then we would see the back face up to a certain height, because obviously the front bit is going to hide over. So imagine there'd be a line there where that line would be projected onto it. Okay, so we're going to see a rectangle with a line going across it. Okay, so that's an easy enough orthographic view to draw. It's just the case then obviously we have to do the surface development. So working out your overall dimensions, my overall length in the direction of arrow A is 90. My overall width in the direction of arrow B is 45. And my overall height is 70. Okay, based on the dimensions here. So I'm going to start drawing those. Arrow A is going to be a box that is 90 long and 70 high. Okay, so on my XY line, I've already made. I've done it on the right hand side because I'm going to do the surface development over here. So I'm going to start off. Arrow A is pointing to the right. So starting at the right hand side, I'm going to measure 90. That's where my elevation is going to be. So construction lines, which are light lines. And then I'm going to measure the height, which is 70. So from 0 up to 7. Mark that there. There's the box for my elevation. Keep a distance then, usually anywhere from 10 to 20. So I'm going to do about 15 today. And then I'm going to measure the distance of my width, which is 45. This is for my end elevation, in this case view B. So check those lines up, and the same height will come across. So everything for view A will fit in this box, everything for view B inside this box. So view A, have I got any heights that I have to put in? Yes, I've one height of 20 millimeters here, that 20 there, and then 50 left over. That's all. I'm just going to see this green bit here, then I'm going to see this as well. Okay, I've obviously got these faces here and this one at the opposite side, but when I'm looking in the direction of arrow A, I will see them just as a straight line. Okay, so I just have to measure up to 20. Mark the 20, put that line in. I'm going to need it in the elevation or the end elevation, so I'll bring it across. I'm going to heavy in my elevation now. So my construction lines, guys, just for the quality of the video, I'll use biro, and then to heavy it in, I'm going to use a marker. Okay, so just to heavy in the outline there. That's the elevation drawn. Okay, now I have to draw the end elevation. So, end elevation. Okay, we've obviously got this line that's at the bottom. But what I want to do is, okay, I've already brought over the height of the 20, transferred across. I've obviously got a little measurement in here and a measurement at the top. So at the top, you can see here it's 15. And then obviously in this section, if you follow it at the back, it's 10. So I'm going to mark in 10 on this line. In 10. And then up here, I'm going to mark back 15. So 15 back to 0. And then I'm going to connect a diagonal line from there to there. And there we have it. So that's that done. Now going to just heavy in the rest of it. Okay. There we have it. Okay. There is the elevation drawn and the end elevation. Now what we have to do, okay, is we have to do a surface development. So what I always do in class is work out, first of all, how many faces have you, okay? So if we actually take it, okay, if I start with this back face here, So let's say I had the back face. I'm just going to write in back. Okay, got the back face, so that one's tick. I've got two side faces that will attach onto it, so side 1 and side 2. So I'd write side 1, side 2. Okay, tick and tick. So I've done 3 faces. I've also got this top face here which will attach onto the back. So I've got a top, tick. Have I got the ground bit? Yes, I do. Ground bit there. So I call that base, which is on the ground. And then last bit, I've got this green bit here at the front as well. So how many faces have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to start off with whichever one we think is the most appropriate and then fold everything out from it. So if you imagine, it's like this face here. If you think of this as a hinge and that's a door, well, this would actually fold out like that. Okay, and it would end up making, if I was to draw that as best I could, okay, this would fold out to there. It's like it would fold out like that. Okay, and the same thing at the opposite side. Okay, and that's what we have to do essentially. So to start off, I'm going to draw in my back structure, which is going to obviously be the exact same as this shape here, only without the line. Okay, so easiest thing to do is we've already got our heights from the XY line up, so transfer this line across and transfer the overall height across. Easiest thing to do. So our development is going to start in between there. Now, I know the length of the back structure is 90, so I'm going to come over here, pick a place about, I'm going to say about here. I'm going to measure 90. From that point there, I'm going to measure 90 there. Okay, so in between those is 90. Start off with 2 construction lines. There we go. Inside in that section there is the back. So on my sheet, tick it off. Okay, now I'm going to attach on to the back side 1 and side 2. So they're going to fold out. So if you imagine they were here and they folded out this way and this way. Okay, so have I already got heights here that I can use? Yes, I've got this height here. Can I bring that across? Of course I can. Okay, what's the width of that side face? It's 45. So I can take it from here. You could actually grab your compass and take the distance and mark it out. But because I know the measurement, I can also use my set square. So I can mark out 45, and I could also mark out 45 from this side. Now, I want to do a line up to there, and a line up to there, without slipping. Now, after that then, we also know at the very tip top, how much does it come out here? That distance there was 15. So this is going to step out 15. And from here, it's going to go 15 the other way. Okay. From this point here, if you remember, it went in 10. Now, on this side, it would look the exact same. There's the 10. And I would connect up a diagonal line like that. Okay. Now, on this side, I would not measure the 10 in here. It's actually measured in from here, because you have to imagine this would be flipped onto the other side, okay, when it's folded out the other direction. So I'm going to mark back 10 here. And there we go. I've got the 2 sides done now. Okay, so I can tick off that and that. Next bit I want to attach on is the roof. So if you imagine the roof, or the top I should say, sorry, this would fold up around this line, which is a hinge line. That would fold up there. Fold up there. What you'd end up getting is that. This is just folded up in that direction. Okay, so that's what we want to do there. So that's going to attach on up here. So, very simple. Just extend on my line. Now, do I know the width of the roof? I do. It's 15. This is also 15. So if you really wanted, nothing wrong with it, you could use your compass. You could put your compass point here, pencil point here. You could swing an arc. Where that arc cuts through there, that's my height. Because the thing is, that distance there has to be the same as this distance here. Likewise on this side, same and same. So there's the top section done. Okay. So now what's the next one I have? Is the base. So the base is this distance. Okay, from the back here, that line there to this line. What's that distance there? It's 45. That will attach onto the bottom of the back surface. So it's going to attach on from here down. Now, so if I bring this down and this down, Once again, it was this distance. So if I wanted, I could very simply measure that distance there with my compass. I could come over here and mark it down. Or as I said to you, absolutely fine, just measuring 45 as well. So mark it down, bring it across. Once again, I've now the base done. The last one I have to attach onto the base will be the front. Okay, and the front you see here has a height of 20, so that's the distance that I'm going to have to attach on. So that 20 there would attach onto the base, so I have to extend this down a little bit further again. And I'm going to take the distance of 20 from there, which was the same height as here. So if I had wanted, I could have taken the height from here down to here like that, and I could have marked it down there. Okay, that's the actual development done. It's just a case now of heavying in what's important. So as I said to my guys in class, always heavy in the whole outline as you see it. So I'm going to get in all my horizontal lines, and anywhere that a face touches another face, you have to put it in almost as I would say in orthographic projection, like hidden detail. But what they actually go in this time is they're known as folds lines. So just getting all my horizontal lines done. I'm now going to do all my vertical lines. So that's heavy down to there. Down to there. And the last two I'm going to get in are those two inclined lines or diagonal lines. So there's the actual surfaces all done in the outline. Now what I have to do is I have to put in fold lines, which are dotted lines. Okay, so I'm going to get in my vertical ones, then I'll do all my horizontals. There we have it. Okay, so if I was to label those, as I said, this would be the back face. You don't have to write these in. I'm going to call this one side 1. This would be side 2. This would be the top. This would be the base. Okay, and then this bit would be the front. Okay, and you can see all the fold lines then are put in as dotted lines. Okay, that there, guys, is that question there. That's the solution to that question there, done out, where we have done the orthographic views and the development of the surface. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful.